Have you ever found yourself quietly wondering, why has my husband lost desire for me? It's a painful question, and it's so easy to let it chip away at your self-worth. But before you go down that rabbit hole of self-blame, I want you to know this. A man's change in desire is rarely about just one thing, and it often has very little to do with how attractive you are. Understanding the psychology behind it can be the key to saving your connection. So let's start with the biggest factor, emotional distance. We often think of men's desire as purely physical, but that's a myth. Research shows that for long-term couples, emotional intimacy is directly tied to sexual desire. If your husband feels disconnected, stressed, or unappreciated, his desire will naturally take a nosedive. You might notice he avoids deep conversations, eye contact, or affection. The fix isn't to force physical intimacy, it's to rebuild that emotional bridge. Start small, with shared experiences and honest, gentle conversations. Next up is the silent desire killer, stress. Whether it's from work, finances, or just life, chronic stress floods his body with cortisol. This hormone is the enemy of testosterone and libido. Studies show that men under heavy stress report a huge drop in sexual desire. Instead of adding pressure, try to be his safe space. Encourage stress-relieving activities you can do together, like a simple walk or just creating a calm home environment. Lightening his mental load can do wonders. Think about the last time you genuinely complimented him. Men, just like us, need to feel valued and respected. If interactions have become filled with criticism or you're just taking him for granted, his desire can slowly erode. Research confirms that men who feel undervalued by their partners show a significant drop in desire over time. So make it a point to show appreciation for the little things. A simple thank you or a sincere compliment can reignite that spark of connection. Of course, we also have to talk about routine. The honeymoon phase is amazing, but it doesn't last forever. When your relationship, including your sex life, becomes predictable and mechanical, desire can fade. Our brains are wired for novelty. We get a hit of the pleasure hormone, dopamine, from new and exciting experiences. So shake things up. Plan a surprise date, send a flirty text, or try a new activity together. It's about bringing that sense of adventure back into your shared life. Sometimes the cause is purely physical. His lifestyle choices have a massive impact. A poor diet, lack of exercise, or not getting enough sleep can all tank his libido. Did you know that men with a sedentary lifestyle are over 40% more likely to experience decreased desire? The best approach here is to make it a team effort. Suggest cooking healthy meals together or going for weekend hikes. When you both feel your best physically, your connection will benefit too. Unresolved conflicts also cast a long shadow. If there's lingering resentment or unspoken hurt between you, he might withdraw sexually as a way to protect himself from more emotional vulnerability. It's not necessarily a lack of desire, but a defense mechanism. It's crucial to address these issues calmly and without blame. Focus on understanding each other's perspective. If you're stuck, couples therapy can be an incredible tool to help you break old, negative patterns. And let's be real, we need to talk about communication. Many women feel like this change happened overnight, but the signs were probably there, just silent. Men often struggle to talk about their feelings, especially around intimacy. So they avoid the topic altogether, which only creates more distance. The solution is to create a safe, judgment-free zone for these conversations. Ask gentle, open-ended questions like, I feel like there's some distance between us lately. Is everything okay? Remember, libido naturally ebbs and flows throughout life due to age, stress, and other factors. A temporary dip doesn't mean the attraction is gone forever. The good news is that desire can absolutely be rekindled. It starts with empathy, patience, and a willingness to reconnect on an emotional level. If you're going through this, please know it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a complex issue with deep psychological roots. By focusing on emotional intimacy, reducing stress, and communicating openly, you can rebuild that connection and restore desire, sometimes making it stronger than ever before. In our last video, we talked about the common reasons a husband might lose desire. Today, we're going deeper, looking at the subtle patterns and practical steps you can take to revive that intimacy, all without pressure or blame. First, let's talk about psychological fatigue. In long-term relationships, overfamiliarity can actually lower the excitement hormones in a man's brain. When everything feels predictable, his brain's reward system doesn't get that hit of novelty, which can reduce desire. The fix? Introduce small, unexpected surprises. It could be a new outfit, a playful melt, or a spontaneous date night. Anything that breaks the routine can spark curiosity again. Next up is self-esteem. A man's sexual desire is deeply connected to his sense of self-worth. If he's feeling insecure about his job, his appearance, or even just getting older, his libido can take a hit, even if he still loves you deeply. So, what can you do? Offer genuine compliments and admire his strengths. Recognizing his achievements can boost his confidence and in turn his desire. Major life transitions also play a huge role. Think about it. A new baby, a big move, a career change. These events bring stress and disrupt routines, often causing a temporary dip in desire. The key here is patience. Physical intimacy might slow down for a bit, but maintaining emotional closeness is crucial to prevent a permanent drift. Another big one is emotional safety. A man needs to feel safe to be vulnerable and express desire. If he's worried about being judged or criticized, he'll hesitate to initiate intimacy, so create a judgment-free zone. Avoid sarcasm or critical comments, especially about performance. Focus on affection and reassurance. Make him feel completely accepted for who he is. Interestingly, your own desire can impact his. If you're emotionally distant, resentful, or seem uninterested, he'll pick up on that energy. It's a concept called sexual reciprocity. Studies show that when a man perceives enthusiasm and warmth from his partner, his own desire increases. So show your interest. Be playful, be curious, and let him feel wanted, not just needed. Let's not forget the subtle saboteurs of modern life, our phones and screens. Constant digital distractions pull our attention away from each other. A man who's mentally absorbed in his phone or work emails simply doesn't have the bandwidth for intimacy. Try creating device-free moments each day. Even 20 minutes of uninterrupted, face-to-face connection can make a world of difference. Of course, we can't ignore physical causes. Low testosterone, sleep problems, medication side effects, or other health issues can directly impact libido. If you notice a prolonged change, gently encourage him to see a doctor. Supporting him and seeking help is far more effective than blaming him for losing interest. Sometimes it's about sexual misalignment. Over time, your needs or preferences might change. If you're not talking about it, one or both of you can start feeling misunderstood, leading to avoidance. Open the conversation gently. Try asking something like, "I'd love to understand what feels best for you these days." This invites cooperation, not conflict. Here's a powerful secret. To reignite sexual desire, focus on non-sexual connection first. Couples who only focus on the physical part often struggle. Instead, build intimacy through shared hobbies, daily hugs, inside jokes, and simple appreciation. When you strengthen that emotional bond, physical attraction often follows naturally. Finally, remember that desire ebbs and flows. It's completely normal. A temporary dip doesn't mean your love or attraction is gone. The healthiest approach combines patience with a real effort to nurture your connection. So if your husband has lost desire, it's rarely about you or a lack of love. It's a complex mix of psychology, biology, and the dynamics of your life together. By understanding these deeper truths and responding with empathy and care, You can rebuild that connection and spark a new, even stronger flame. If you've been following this series, you now understand the complex reasons why a husband might lose his desire. Now, in our final part, we're diving into the solutions. These aren't about pressure or blame. They're practical, psychology-backed strategies to reconnect, rebuild intimacy, and reignite that spark. First, and this is crucial, focus on emotional connection before physical intimacy. Sex is often the final step in the intimacy chain, not the first. Many people make the mistake of trying to fix a lack of desire by initiating sex, but for most men, emotional needs must be met first. So, what can you do? Spend 15 to 30 minutes every day connecting without your phones or the TV on. Ask about his day and truly listen. Small gestures like a hand on his shoulder or a genuine hug can completely reset your emotional closeness. When he feels seen and heard, desire often follows naturally. Next, let's reintroduce playfulness. This is one of the most underrated tools for reigniting passion. Over time, marriages can become all about logistics and responsibilities, which kills excitement. Remember when you were dating? The teasing, the playful touches, the inside jokes? Bring that back. Try a new hobby together, cook a meal, or go on a spontaneous adventure. Laughter and lightness release dopamine, the very chemical that fuels attraction. Along with playfulness comes appreciation. Men thrive on acknowledgement. It's not about grand praise. It's about noticing the little things. Did he take out the trash without being asked? Did he make you a coffee? Say thank you. Give him a sincere compliment, not just on his looks, but on his character or a skill he has. Feeling valued and seen makes a man feel more connected and more willing to be vulnerable and intimate. Now, let's talk about energy. While physical appearance is a factor, what's often more magnetic is your own energy. A woman who radiates confidence, curiosity, and positivity is incredibly attractive. So, take care of yourself. Dive into your own passions and hobbies. When you feel happy and fulfilled, you bring an amazing, contagious energy into the relationship. Of course, we have to address conflict. Unresolved arguments are silent desire killers. Men often withdraw sexually to avoid emotional tension. The key is to handle disagreements constructively. Use "I feel" statements instead of pointing fingers. And please keep arguments out of the bedroom. That space should be a sanctuary. When you create an environment of emotional safety, closeness, and desire can flourish again. Don't forget the physical side of things, but I'm talking about health. A healthy lifestyle boosts everything, including libido. Simple things like taking walks together, cooking nutritious meals, and making sure you both get enough sleep can make a huge difference in energy levels and mood. Supporting each other's health is a powerful way to bond and boost attraction. It's also about the small, everyday gestures. Romance isn't just about big, expensive dates. A loving text during the day, his favorite snack waiting for him, or a simple kiss with no expectation of it leading to more. These are the things that build a strong foundation. They remind him that he's loved and desired for who he is. And this is important. Respect his need for space. Sometimes men pull away to process stress. Pressuring him for intimacy at these times will almost always backfire. Let him have his alone time to recharge. Use that time for yourself. When he feels that intimacy is a choice, not an obligation, desire has the room it needs to grow. Finally, you can explore intimacy creatively. Try a sensual massage, flirtatious teasing, or plan a special date night. Talk openly about your desires in a safe, non-judgmental way. The goal is connection, not performance. When intimacy feels fun and mutually rewarding, the spark comes back. Remember, rebuilding desire is a journey, not a race. It ebbs and flows. Focus on connection, celebrate the small wins, and be patient with each other. When you build a foundation of emotional safety, appreciation, and fun, Desire doesn't just return, it often comes back stronger than ever before. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you on your journey.